Hey, this is James the Beach Bum, and this is
Adrian Williams.
so this is a buddy of mine for a while. He actually does real estate in the Dominican Republic, and we wanted to talk about what it's like running your own real estate agency, buying property, what it's like living here for the first time, and kind of what are some of the things that you've gone through during the learning process. So Adrian, so how long have you been doing real estate?
So I've been licensed in the States since 2006.
Since 2006.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you've noticed here in the Dominican Republic that are different than in the United States?
Everything.
Everything.
Every possible thing. When you think about real estate here, you have to let go of what you know in the States. The only thing that's the same is the fact that they're going to give you a key at closing to say that the house is yours. But other than that, there's nothing like buying houses here in the States. It's a whole different experience. From the financing to the way they build the houses to, the negotiation process to how you deal with title and what they call due diligence here, inspections, everything is different. Everything is different.
So let's talk about some of those things. So start by explaining due diligence.
So there's a process here called Diligence, and that's where the attorney is going to go and make sure that the property is free and clear from any type of tax encumbrances or financial obligations or anyone that has rights to the property. They're going to make sure that all those things are in line so that you can take possession of the property once the transaction is complete. If they don't do that, then you can end up like some other people who buy a property here and they don't have a lawyer do a thorough due diligence process, and they end up getting taken. When I say taken, they end up losing their money because they didn't have a thorough enough lawyer to make sure that the property was free and clear.
So that's one of the things that I've actually heard about here, people not going through the Diligence process and losing their property, the same property being sold to 10 other people.
Yeah.
Or a cousin of somebody that said, oh, well, I have claim to this property through inheritance. But if you go through the Diligence process, you make sure that that property is ready to be sold to you because everything is free and clear.
Yeah.
So what would you have to say about the construction of properties here in the Dominican Republic?
It's all cement and blocks. So like in the States, we use a lot of wood. We use vinyl siding. We use vinyl flooring. A lot of that. None of that stuff is here. Everything is block, concrete, granite, some type of tile or everything is built to last. It's built to we're in a tropical region, so we have storms and things that come through. So the properties have to be built differently than what we see in the States. But yeah, man, it's amazing how they put these places together, and they do it quick. You would think that it would take a lot longer to get it done, but they're throwing them up in 5, 6
months,
8 months, depending on how big it is. Yeah, it's pretty amazing what they do, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful structures.
So let's talk about financing in the Dominican Republic, because I know some of the financing options are different depending on what country you come from,
Yep.
your income level, your
Yep.
taxes, as well as whether you have a Dominican cedula or you don't. So let's talk about that.
So yeah, pretty much it's nothing like the financing that we see in the States. There are a few banks here that has products that are similar to what we see in the States. And when I say products, like a 30-year or 20-year loan or 15-year loan. But a lot of the financing here is for 10 years, 5 to 10 years. And that's not everybody, but that's the bulk of what you're going to see, that 5 to 10 year loan period. Other than that, it's cash deals or owner financing. I'll talk a little bit about the banking scenario. So for the one that we deal with that has a product that's closest to us is Scotiabank. Scotiabank offers a 30-year product and a 20-year product. This is how they differ from the States, however. So the 30-year product, it's a 4.25 fixed for the first 5 years, and then the remaining 25 years is variable, adjustable. So, and there's no cap. So the rate can go wherever it wants to go within that last 25 years. With the 20-year loan product, I think it's 3.25, and it's fixed for the first 5 years and then adjustable for the remaining 15 years after that. So again, you're in a scenario where that rate can go wherever it So what most people do is they'll try to pay it off within that fixed period so that they don't have to pay those crazy interest rates. Or if you can, refinance at that point into something that's a little more stable, because again, that adjustable rate can be a little tricky if you're not paying attention to it.
And that's one issue that I've seen in the Dominican Republic. Sometimes you'll go with banks that have 13% interest rates. I've actually seen some places that do give you that 10%. I mean, a 10-year option or 20-year option, but usually they don't go higher than that unless you're with Scotiabank. So back to the financing. So what are some of the highest interest rates that you've seen, and how easy has it been for some of your clients to refinance their loans?
So I've seen 13% is the highest rate that I've seen. And in all fairness, Keller Williams only been open in the country for about a year now, so our clients aren't refinancing just yet. So I don't know how difficult that process is going to be, once they get to that point. But once we get to that point, I love to share that information with you. If you can do another interview and talk about it, but I don't want to give you information that I can verify for myself and our clients aren't refinancing yet, because we want to be in for less than a year.
Perfect. So when you're doing real estate, do you specialize in a particular region of the Dominican Republic, or such as all of the tourist areas? Do you also do some of the big cities such as Santiago and Santo Domingo? So what's your company's specialty in financing?
So, well,
Not financing, but real estate.
Real estate. So our main office is actually in Punta Cana. That was the very first office in the country. We also have offices in Santo Domingo, Santiago, now Puerto Plata, and soon Sosúa. The area that I focus on is the North Coast, because that's where I am. I live in Puerto Plata. We frequent Sosúa and Cabarete, and places going west and going east, along the entire coastline. So that's my focus, the North Coast. I can help you in any part of the country, but I prefer to be your local expert for the North Coast.
So what region do you see growing the fastest? Because I know over the last few years, the North Coast has been booming, especially construction in Sosúa, Cabarete, and definitely Puerto Plata. Mm-hmm. They recently redid some of the roads. Now there's a faster transportation between Santiago and Puerto Plata, with the new president. So how fast have you seen the growth in just the last 2 years alone, even during the pandemic?
It's amazing, man. The landscape changes every single day. I mean, literally, it changes every single day. If it's even just a new sidewalk being, installed, it's changing every single day. It's going to continue to do that for the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, at a very rapid pace, because of everything that's happening here on the North Coast. The new administration, the president, almost his entire cabinet, they're from the North Coast. They have businesses here. Their interests are here. So it's their baby.
Yeah.
And they're now nurturing it, and it's starting to, really develop into something beautiful, But yeah, the North Coast is definitely the fastest growing region of the country. The country itself is the fastest selling country in the Caribbean, so that says a lot about all the growth and opportunity that's actually here for anyone that's looking to, look for another place outside of wherever you are, the States. Europe, wherever you are, Africa, this is a great option. So, yeah, the North Coast is it.
So what would you have to say about some of the recreational activities in the North Coast, particularly Puerto Plata, Sosúa, and Cabarete?
There's a variety of things to do. And it depends on where you are. That's going to determine what kind of experience that you get. Cabarete is more of a laid-back beach town. They have the surfing, the kite surfing, more of a bohemian style life. People like to just, be real beach bummy, if you will.
Yep, me, beach bum.
Sosúa is more of a faster paced environment than Cabarete or even Puerto Plata. You have a lot of excursions in Sosúa. You can do the four-wheeling, you can do the scuba diving, the snorkeling, not scuba, but snorkeling. You can't go scuba diving.
Yeah.
You go scuba diving, snorkeling, take the catamaran out, do some sailing, the banana boat, hang out at the beach and eat food at the beach all day. You have the monkey jungle. What else in Sasua? You have the museum, the Alien Museum, or what they call I don't know if you've been there before, but it's right behind, you go past Hispaniola, up that street, and it's all at the top of the street. So
it's really crazy. So if you're an art, fanatic, you like, crazy stuff, that's a great museum to visit.
Oh yeah. Man, you should on one of these episodes, y'all should put in the comments and have them go check it out and show it to you at least.
Yeah, it's nuts.
When you ride past it the first time, it's like, what in the world is this?
Oh,
but yeah, man, you do some research and start to figure out what it is. Like, oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, man, so you have that. You have I mentioned four-wheeler, right?
Yeah.
You got the you can rent motorcycles. You can go to one of the artists down on the beach and have them do your painting. There's tons of things you can do in Sasua. Puerto Plata, it has a lot of options as well. You have the Malecon, which is very different in terms of the beach area. Then you have some great dining options along the beach as well, overlooking the ocean. You have the 27 waterfall excursion in Puerto Plata. It's a day. It's a whole day event. You have the Teleferico. You have it's a lot you can do, man.
Yeah.
There's not a shortage of activities when you come here. Now, I will say that you have to make sure that you have a good guide to make sure that you're not being ripped off.
Yeah.
Because
so don't overpay for any of those excursions.
Right. Because they'll tell you, hey, 4-wheeler is $150 per person, when you can get it for probably a third of that cost. Okay, so just make sure that you have someone that you trust or understand the language enough to negotiate, and never stop negotiating, because everything is negotiation. I don't care what it is. Everything is negotiation. The conversation is just what they start with is just that. It's what they start with. We're going to end somewhere else.
Yeah, an example is I'm actually a member at Playa Dorada Golf Course. Yes, I play golf. I'm a member there, and I saw how expensive the rounds of golf were. So I just hey, is there a way that I can pay cheaper? Like, no. I actually got some of my buddies that are Dominicans that are also members there to get me a membership, and now I pay much cheaper because I'm a member than if I was just paying the tourist rate. A fraction, literally a fraction. Like I paid less for 6 rounds of golf than 1 round of golf that a tourist would pay.
Yeah.
So it's nuts.
Yeah.
Everything's negotiable.
It is. Another example of that is when I first started coming here, I would fly into Puerto Plata, take a taxi from Puerto Plata to Casa Linda.
Yeah.
$30.
Oh man.
$30 US. Okay. Now that I live here, I can take a car from Puerto Plata to Sasua for 500 pesos.
Oh yeah.
That's less than $10.
Yep.
So the $30 that I was paying before for half of the trip, not even half the trip, a third of the trip, was me paying gringo prices because I didn't know any better. So again, just make sure that you either know the language or you got somebody that you trust, and double check the person you trust, make sure that you can really, really trust them.
And even that's tough because sometimes you might know somebody for years, and then they're looking for that one hole in the armor to get your money out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So
very true.
So when it comes to starting a business here, what were some of the difficulties, or having your company start branching off in the Dominican Republic? What were some of the difficulties that you guys ran into?
So the main challenges that we see are just learning how business is being done here when it comes to real estate. Opening our doors here was the easy part because Keller Williams is such a large organization that they already had that part done. We're just coming in to kind of facilitate the movement, if you will. But the biggest challenge is just understanding how real estate is being done here, making sure that we have a good understanding of the transaction process so that we can give a seamless experience over to our clients, as seamless as possible, because nothing's seamless here.
Nothing is seamless.
The moment I have a seamless transaction, I'll go nuts. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Everything has hiccups.
Everything. If you don't have a hiccup, it may not be real.
Exactly. If it's going too smoothly, there's a problem.
Yeah, there's a problem. So again, that's our biggest area of opportunity. Our biggest challenge is just understanding how business is done so that our clients are taken care of. They're not being taken advantage of. They're not losing their money, and legally everything is done correctly. So that's pretty much. And then the language barrier, obviously, because I grew up speaking English, and I had to. I've immersed myself in the culture, so I'm learning Spanish through immersion. I do a couple of lessons as well on some apps that I have, but the bulk of it comes through my
actual conversation,
conversing with other Dominicans and saying, "Huh."
Okay. Esto me dijiste.
Right. Slow down, please. But yeah, man, that's it.
Awesome. It was great doing this interview with you, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for the opportunity to be on the show.
Yep. All right. Talk to you guys later.
All
Bye.
Right.